Okay, imagine this. You're reading an article online, maybe something about, I don't know, sustainable architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And right there, next to it, there's an ad for, say, solar panel installation.
Right, happens all the time.
Or you're looking up fancy coffee makers and boom, an ad for artisanal coffee beans pops up.
Feels pretty relevant, yeah. Sometimes almost. Spookily so.
Exactly, spookily relevant. But the big question is why? Is that ad there because some system knows your entire browsing history, like everything you've clicked for weeks?
Or is it maybe just because the page you're on right now, the article about architecture or coffee, signals that you're in a certain mindset?
That's the split, isn't it? Two
Yeah.
really different ways to get that relevance.
Absolutely. And that difference is, well, it's becoming hugely important in digital advertising today. One of those methods is really having a moment.
Okay, so that's what we're digging into today. We want to really unpack contextual targeting.
Good plan.
Figure out how it works targeting the page, not the person. How it's truly different from the other big method, behavioral targeting.
And why it's suddenly so critical, especially with all the focus on privacy.
Right. So maybe start with the basics. What is contextual targeting, fundamentally?
Fundamentally, it's using technology algorithms, machine learning, to match an advertisement to the actual content of the specific web page or app where it's going to appear.
So it reads the page.
Essentially, yes. It analyzes the page content to understand what it's about. The goal is simply to place ads that make sense in that context, ads that someone reading that specific content might actually find relevant.
Okay, that sounds straightforward enough.
Yeah.
But how does it actually do that analysis? How does a system understand a web page's context? Isn't that just like basic keyword matching?
Ah, well, that's what gets interesting. It used to be more like simple keyword matching, maybe a decade ago.
Oh, I remember that. You'd see car ads on articles that just mentioned a traffic jam or something. Not always great.
Exactly. It was blunt. If the word Jaguar appeared, you might get an ad for the car, even if the article was about the animal in the rainforest.
Yeah. Pretty clumsy.
But modern contextual targeting is way beyond that. It uses sophisticated natural language processing, NLP.
Okay, NLP. So it's actually reading and understanding the language.
Precisely. It's not just spotting keywords. NLP analyzes the topics, the phrases, the meaning, the sentiment of the text on the page. It can differentiate concepts.
So it can tell the difference between Apple the company and Apple the fruit.
Exactly that. Or, Jaguar the fast cat versus Jaguar the luxury SUV. It understands the entities and the relationships between words.
How deep does that go? Does it categorize things?
Oh, yes. It often uses standardized systems like the IAB content taxonomy. This provides really granular categories. Well, not just sports, but sports teams, sports basketball, professional basketball, or finance, investing, stocks and bonds, really specific niches.
Got it. So the system analyzes the whole page using this advanced NLP, figures out it fits into, say, adventure travel South America, and then matches relevant ads.
That's the core process. The ad aligns with the environment, the publisher's content, not some profile built on the user's past. It ensures the ad makes sense right there, right then.
Which really brings us to that key comparison. Contextual versus behavioral. They both want relevant ads, but they get there in totally different ways.
Yeah.
What's the absolute core distinction?
The core distinction is the focus. Behavioral targeting is laser-focused on the user.
My history, my clicks.
Right. It tracks your activity across the web, what sites you visit, what you search for, what you buy, maybe even demographic details inferred from that behavior.
And this is where things like third-party cookies and tracking platform, the DSPs, come into play. Yeah?
Exactly. Demand-side platforms, the DSPs, ingest all this user data. They build profiles. They segment users.
So if I looked at hiking boots last week, and this week I'm reading, I don't know, a news article about politics.
Behavioral targeting might still show you an ad for those hiking boots because its profile says you are interested in hiking gear. The ad follows you regardless of the page content.
Gotcha. It's targeting me.
Yes. Contextual targeting flips that completely. It ignores your past behavior. It only looks at the current page.
So, on that political news article.
A contextual ad would relate to politics or news or maybe current events. It wouldn't know or care about the hiking boots. It targets the content of the page you're viewing right now.
Okay, I like the analogy you used earlier. Behavioral is like a little drone following you everywhere, sticking ads on you.
Right, trying to sell you running shoes even when you walk into a library.
Whereas contextual is like setting up a relevant stall inside the library, maybe selling bookmarks or reading lamps. It fits the environment.
Precisely. It's about being in the right place, not following the right person.
And that distinction is huge right now, isn't it? With privacy regulations like GDPR, CCPA, browsers blocking cookies.
It's driving a massive shift. Advertisers are looking for effective methods that don't rely on that kind of individual tracking.
Okay, so privacy is a big advantage, but let's push on that a bit. For years, the mantra was behavioral data is king for performance, for ROI.
Sure, that was the perception.
If Contextual doesn't know I bought hiking boots last week, or that I'm actually in the market for a new laptop, even if I'm reading about gardening, doesn't it miss the mark? Isn't it less precise?
That's a fair question, but it overlooks something crucial: mindset and immediacy.
Okay, explain that.
Behavioral targets your history, what you were interested in. Contextual targets your current mindset, what you are actively engaged with right now.
So if I'm reading a detailed review of a new laptop,
You are likely in a considering a laptop mindset at that very moment. An ad for that laptop or a related accessory lands with perfect timing. It matches your immediate focus.
whereas a behavioral ad might be for something I looked at days ago, maybe even already bought.
Exactly. Sometimes behavioral chases historical intent that's no longer relevant. Contextual captures the power of the present moment, and often that immediate relevance leads to better engagement, better click-through rates, higher quality leads.
That makes sense. The relevance of now. Okay, so let's bullet point those key advantages of Contextual then, especially in today's world.
Right. There are really 4 big ones. First, it's simpler and faster to implement.
Why simpler?
Because it doesn't need user data, no complex data collection, no consent management hoops to jump through, no building user profiles. You just analyze the content. Campaigns can get up and running much quicker.
Less friction to launch. Okay, advantage 1, what's next?
Second, increased engagement and brand lift. Because the ad aligns with what the user is actively reading or watching, it feels less intrusive.
More like part of the experience.
Exactly. Less like an interruption, more like a relevant suggestion. This boosts engagement clicks, views, and it can help build positive brand association because you're seen in the right context.
Yeah.
Plus, you can reach broader audiences interested in a topic, not just tracked individuals.
Makes sense. Ads that don't annoy people as much.
Yeah.
Good goal. The third one has to be privacy.
Right, absolutely. Third, it's inherently less intrusive and more privacy-focused. This is the big one driving adoption now.
No cookies, no tracking.
Correct. It relies solely on analyzing the page content. So advertisers completely sidestep issues around user consent, data privacy laws like GDPR, CCPA, all of that complexity. They deliver relevant ads without needing personal data.
That's a huge operational relief for brands, I bet. And avoids the creepy factor, too.
Definitely builds more user trust. And the fourth advantage ties back to something we mentioned.
Ad fatigue. Seeing the same ad over and over.
Exactly. Fourth, decreased risk of ad fatigue. Behavioral targeting, by definition, follows the user. So that user might see the same hiking boot ad on 10 different websites.
Yeah, that gets old fast.
It really does. Diminishing returns. Contextual targeting is tied to the page. As the user moves to different content, the ads naturally change to match that new context. It feels more organic, less repetitive, and irritating.
Okay, simpler, more engaging, privacy safe, and less annoying. That's a strong case.
It really is. It's not just a plan B anymore. It's a core strategic choice.
So how does this fit into the bigger machinery of digital advertising? The whole programmatic world seems built on bidding for specific users in real time.
It integrates very well, actually, but it changes the focus. It
Yeah.
shifts programmatic strategy more towards pre-bid filtering rather than just post-bid analysis of user data.
Pre-bid filtering, what does that mean in practice?
It means the intelligence moves up front, before an ad slot is even offered up for auction in the ad exchange.
Yeah.
The publisher, or tech acting on their behalf, has already used NLP to analyze that page content and tagged it with those detailed contextual signals we talked about, those IAB categories, maybe brand safety flags like no violence.
So the bid request itself contains the context.
Precisely. The request that goes out to the DSPs doesn't just say, here's an ad slot. It says, here's an ad slot on a page classified as technology, consumer electronics, smartphones, and certified brand safe.
So the DSP isn't bidding based on user ID 123, who likes cats. It's bidding based on the content category of the page.
Correct. The DSP uses those contextual signals to decide if the placement matches the advertiser's campaign goals before it even bids. Does the advertiser want to be on smartphone review pages? Yes. Okay, bid. Does the advertiser want to avoid political news? Yes. Okay, don't bid on pages tagged politics.
So it makes the buying process more about finding the right environment automatically.
Exactly. It ensures relevance and brand safety up front, which is incredibly efficient. It reduces wasted spend on irrelevant impressions. Then the automated bidding systems can optimize the price based on how well that specific content category usually performs.
That really reframes programmatic. It's not just about tracking users, it's also about deeply understanding and valuing the content environment itself.
It has to be. Contextual provides that scalable, privacy-compliant way to find relevant audiences through the content they choose to consume. It's efficient, it's effective, and frankly, it's future-proof.
Okay, so let's try and sum this up. What we're really saying is that contextual targeting has evolved, right? It's not just simple keywords anymore.
Not at all. It's sophisticated, AI-driven content analysis. Deep NLP, understanding the nuances of the page.
And it offers this powerful way to deliver relevant ads without diving into user tracking and all the privacy headaches that come with it.
Exactly. It targets the user's current mindset, their immediate interest, based on the content they are actively engaging with, not chasing their past.
A robust, privacy-first alternative that actually performs well.
Which leads to a really interesting thought. Maybe it's something for you, the listener, to consider.
Go on.
Well, if contextual targeting works well without needing user tracking data, and the whole industry is moving further away from tracking, with cookie deprecation and stricter regulations,
Yeah.
how much more important does that make the technology that analyzes the content? Things like NLP. Will the next wave of ad tech innovation focus even more heavily on predicting what a user might do next, based purely on the context they're in, rather than who they've been historically?
So refining the ability to understand the now and predict the next second, based only on the environment.
Could be. What kind of breakthroughs in content understanding and immediate intent prediction might that drive? It kind of shifts the focus of innovation, doesn't it?